The state of Missouri recently passed into law a 72-hour abortion waiting period, and the Democratic governor, Jay Nixon, did not like that. So he did what I would have done if I was governor, or what a lot of smart people would have done. He vetoed the law. So what happened after the veto? Well, today we learned that the legislature re-voted on the bill, and they garnered enough votes to actually override the veto. So this is a bad day for women's rights. Now, first of all, how do people in Missouri feel about this? Quote, according to a recent public policy polling survey, 8 out of 10 Missourians are concerned the 72-hour waiting period intrudes on women's private medical decisions, and most of them agreed with the governor's decision to veto it. So it's an unpopular move. But nonetheless, they overrode his veto. So the legislature is going against the will of the people, but here's the most important part. Quote, Missouri has a history of enacting strict restrictions on abortion. Even though the state only has one abortion clinic left, lawmakers have considered more than 30 different anti-abortion bills this session. Planned Parenthood, which operates that clinic, points out that some women have to travel more than 100 miles to get to it. So, what is this law really about? Well, the Republicans will tell you that it's to force people to take this major life decision seriously, but the idea behind it is really to stop abortions by inconveniencing people to the point where they don't even try to get it. Think about it. So you need an abortion. It's early on. You go to the clinic, and then they tell you, oh, sorry, you're going to have to wait 72 hours. Come back 72 hours from now. You just drove 87 miles, took a day off of work, which you couldn't fucking afford, okay, and you're told you have to come back? Well, this is a backdoor way to try to get people to go, fuck it, what are we going to do? I mean, they're trying to stop us from getting it in any way they can. Now, I should also add, Missouri, among other states, they've gone further, okay? This is actually, believe it or not, one of the more mild ways that they try to stop people from getting abortions without actually writing down on the law books, we are outlawing abortions. They have these laws called TRAP laws. It stands for Targeted Restriction of Abortion Procedures. They're letting you know they're trapping you. The name of the law, they're TRAP laws. They refer to it like that. And what are some of those laws? Well, in a lot of red states around the country, what they'll do is they'll walk into an abortion clinic, okay? They'll take out a fucking tape measure the size of the hallway and the height of the ceiling, and then they'll say, oh, isn't that a shame? Your ceilings are 13 feet high. We just passed a law that says it needs to be 13.2 feet high. So either you redo your entire clinic, which might cost you $400,000, or we shut you down. You have a month to comply. Goodbye. And then what happens? They have to shut down. Another example is they'll force these clinics to get hospital admission permits, and then they'll go to the hospital to get it, and they'll force them to go to a Catholic hospital. And the hospitals are like, no, we don't believe in that, sorry. Or what they'll do is they'll make them go to one of these. There was an article I read about a year ago. They make them go to a hospital. They put a time limit on it of you need to get your permit within a month, and the permit process takes 3 months. So then you're fucked again. And the list goes on and on. They also have, these laws that appear like they make sense on paper, but they actually are just to shut the clinics down. So, for example, you have to make your patient rooms the same as surgical rooms, like rooms where they actually do surgery in the hospital. And a lot of these rooms, like there was one clinic where all they do is give the Plan B pill out, the morning after pill. So there's no reason whatsoever to make them be a surgical clinic. But they passed the law. People on paper, since they're morons, they don't know the details. They go, oh, well, that law makes sense. Just make it like make it high quality, like a surgery room. What's the problem here? There's no problem here. And then what happens? They have to shut down the clinic. So they're trying to outlaw abortion without actually saying the words, "We are outlawing abortion," because Roe v. Wade prevents them from doing that. I mean, the Texas law, shutting down all those clinics. I mean, this is insane. And look, I get it, man. I've said it repeatedly on the show. I'm actually a moderate on the issue of abortion. I really am. There are plenty of issues where I'm a genuine moderate. So what I mean by that is, I think up until 20 or about 23 weeks, it's totally the woman's choice. You get, it's all you, and we're dealing with gametes, zygotes, embryos, pregestation fetuses. It's totally your choice at that point. After 23 weeks, when, we start to get to the point of viability and the nervous system develops in the fetus, so there's pain. After that, I say the only time you should be able to get it is in, cases of rape, incest, life of the mother is threatened, or there's a defect in the fetus where the fetus won't survive anyway. So I'm a moderate. I think there's a happy middle ground. Neither extreme is correct. And by the way, Roe v. Wade is kind of the same as that, right? So I understand both sides, but what the Republicans are doing here is they can't win the debate, so they cheat. They cheat and they go as far in the direction of banning all abortions as they possibly can, and they take away women's rights in the process.